You're about to hear something that might completely change the way you see her behavior. Because right now, if she's pulling away, acting distant, or suddenly feels cold, your mind is probably telling you the same painful story. She's losing interest. Maybe even, she's already gone. And I understand why you feel that way. Anyone in your position would. But what if the truth is the exact opposite? What if the reason she's stepping back isn't because she doesn't care, but because she feels too much? And here's the part that almost no one tells you. There is one very specific behavior that most men see as rejection, when in reality, it's one of the strongest signs she's falling deeply in love. Stay with me because I'm going to break that down for you. Hey, I'm Olivia, and welcome to Psychology Secrets with Olivia, a place where we don't just talk about attraction, we understand the emotions behind it. And before we go any further, I want you to pause for a second. Because this isn't just another video. If you've ever found yourself staring at your phone, wondering why she hasn't replied, if you've ever replayed conversations in your head, trying to figure out what went wrong, or if you've ever felt that quiet fear of losing someone you genuinely care about, then this is for you. And I want you to really hear this, not just with your mind, but with your heart. Because what I'm about to share might be the one thing that stops you from making a mistake that pushes her away for good. Now let's talk about something that almost every man misunderstands. When a woman starts developing deep feelings, real feelings, she doesn't always move closer. Sometimes she pulls back. And I know how confusing that sounds, because logically, love should bring someone closer, right? But emotions don't follow logic. They follow protection. Let me paint a picture for you. Not long ago, everything felt easy. She was texting you often, laughing at your jokes, opening up during those late-night conversations that felt endless. There was warmth. There was connection. And then suddenly, something shifts. Her replies get shorter. She takes longer to respond. She seems busy more often. And the worst part? You can feel the distance, even when she's still there. Now, naturally, what do? You try harder. You text more. You give more attention. You try to fix it. But somehow, the more you reach for her, the more she slips away. It feels like holding sand in your hand. The tighter you hold, the faster it falls apart. Now here's what's actually happening inside her, and this is something very few people truly understand. When a woman realizes she's falling deeply for you, her emotional system doesn't just feel excitement. It also feels danger. Not physical danger, but emotional risk. Because loving someone means losing control. It means becoming vulnerable. And if she's ever been hurt before, and most people have, her mind remembers that pain. So when those feelings for you start getting stronger, her brain does something incredible. It tries to protect her. There's a psychological response called emotional flooding, and it's powerful. During emotional flooding, her brain literally struggles to distinguish between intense love and potential threat. Yes, you heard that right. The same part of her brain that reacts to danger also reacts to deep emotional attachment. Her heart races, her stress levels rise, and subconsciously her mind whispers, "Be careful. Don't get too close. Don't lose yourself again." So what does she do? She creates space, not because she doesn't care, but because she cares too much. And this is where most men get it completely wrong. Instead of recognizing her need for emotional safety, they interpret it as rejection. And their reaction? They chase harder. They push for answers. They demand reassurance. And without realizing it, they confirm her deepest fear, that getting close to you will overwhelm her. Let me share a real-life example with you. I once worked with a client. Let's call him Arav. He met someone incredible. They had chemistry, connection, everything. But after a few weeks, she started pulling away. Arav panicked. He started texting constantly, asking if something was wrong, trying to fix the distance. And within days, she completely shut down. When we later understood her perspective, everything became clear. She wasn't losing interest. She was overwhelmed by how much she liked him. But his reaction made her feel pressured. And pressure feels like danger. That's the difference. And I want you to ask yourself something honestly. Right now, are you responding to her behavior or reacting to your fear? Because those are two very different things. Now, let's talk about the one sign that almost every man misunderstands. This is the moment where everything flips. You might want to sit with this for a second. One of the clearest signs she's deeply emotionally invested is that she becomes more challenging with you than with anyone else. Yes, she might tease you more, disagree with you, call you out, even seem a little mean sometimes. And I don't mean disrespectful, that's different. I mean real, unfiltered, honest. Now, most men see this and think, she's losing interest. She's getting annoyed with me. But the truth is, this is something psychologists often refer to as emotional testing. When a woman is only slightly interested, she stays polite, agreeable, careful, because she's still deciding. But when she's emotionally invested, she starts showing you who she really is. Her moods, her flaws, her opinions. Because deep down, she's asking one silent question. Can you handle the real me? Real. And here's the deeper layer. She's also testing emotional safety. She wants to know, will you stay calm if I challenge you? Will you respect me even when I'm not perfect? Will you still choose me when I'm not easy? This is not manipulation. This is vulnerability in disguise. And most men fail this test without even realizing it. They become defensive. They take it personally. They pull away emotionally. Or worse, they try to control the situation. But what she's actually looking for is emotional strength, calmness, stability. Let me give you a simple exercise you can start using immediately. The next time she teases you or challenges you, pause. Instead of reacting, respond with grounded confidence. Smile, stay relaxed. And if it's playful, play back. If it's serious, listen without interrupting. Because how you respond in those moments tells her everything she needs to know about you. Now, we're just getting started. Because there are 4 more signs that reveal something even deeper. And the 4th one, it's so subtle, but so powerful that once you recognize it, you'll never see her the same way again. And trust me, how you handle that moment can either build deep trust or quietly destroy everything. So take a breath and stay with me. Because in the next part, I'm going to show you exactly how to read those signs, what they truly mean, and the one mistake you must never make, even once. So take a deep breath, because what you're about to understand now is where most men either build something real or unknowingly lose it. Let's continue. There are 4 powerful signs that she's not pulling away because she doesn't care, but because she's emotionally overwhelmed by how much she feels for you. And once you truly see these signs clearly, you'll stop reacting out of fear and start responding with understanding. The first sign, she creates distance, but she never fully disconnects. This is one of the most confusing experiences you can go through. Because on the surface, it looks like she's drifting away. She stops texting first, she becomes less expressive, she doesn't engage the way she used to, but if you look closely, she's still there, watching your stories, checking your updates, not fully gone, just quietly present. It's like she's standing at a distance, close enough to feel connected, but far enough to feel safe. And this creates an emotional paradox inside her. She wants to come closer, but closeness feels risky. So she stays in that middle space. Now here's something you can try, a small awareness test. If you suddenly disappeared for a few days, no posts, no messages, who do you think would notice first? Often, it's her, because even when she pulls back physically, emotionally, she hasn't left. She's still tuned into you, and that matters more than you think. The second sign, she reacts strongly to small things. Maybe you take longer to reply one day, and suddenly she feels distant. Maybe you cancel plans, and her reaction feels bigger than expected. Now, from your perspective, it might feel confusing. Why is she overreacting? But from her emotional world, it's not about the situation. It's about what the situation represents. When she's emotionally invested, small actions carry deeper meaning. A delayed reply doesn't just feel like a delay. It feels like distance. A canceled plan doesn't just feel like rescheduling. It feels like rejection. Because when someone matters to you, everything they do feels amplified. And here's the truth most people don't talk about. Indifference is calm, but love is sensitive. So instead of labeling her reaction as too much, try to see it as information. It's showing you where her emotional investment lives. Here's something practical you can start doing. The next time she reacts strongly, don't immediately defend yourself. Instead, acknowledge the emotion first. Say something simple like, I understand why that felt important to you. That one sentence alone can de-escalate so much tension. Because she doesn't just want logic, she wants to feel understood. Now, the third sign, she talks about the future and then pulls it back. This one is subtle, but incredibly revealing. She might say something like, "We should go there someday," or "That would be fun to do together in the future." And then almost immediately, she softens it, adds uncertainty, laughs it off, or changes the subject. And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss what just happened. Because for a brief moment, she let herself imagine a future with you. That's not casual, that's emotional. But right after that moment, fear steps in. What if this doesn't last? What if I get hurt? So she pulls back, not because she doesn't see a future, but because she's scared of wanting it too much. And this is where your role becomes important. You don't need to lock it in. You don't need to make it serious instantly. You just need to stay calm. Let her express those moments without making them heavy. Because when she feels safe enough, those maybe someday thoughts will slowly turn into certainty. And now, the fourth sign. This one is deeply fascinating. And once you understand it, you'll start noticing things you never saw before. When a woman is falling deeply, she often tells the people around her the exact opposite of what she feels. She might say, "It's nothing serious. We're just talking. He's just a friend." And on the surface, that sounds like disinterest. But underneath, it's protection. Because the moment she admits to someone else that she really likes you, it becomes real. And when something is real, it can be lost. It can hurt. So she protects herself by minimizing it, by keeping it private, by not giving it a label yet. And here's where it gets interesting. Her friends often know more than she says. They observe, they notice. And if you ever feel like her friends are quietly studying you, being extra aware around you, it's not random. They're evaluating because she matters to them and you matter to her. Now, this brings us to the most important part of everything we've talked about, the one mistake that pushes her away when she's feeling this way. And I want you to really listen carefully here, because this is where everything can shift. When you sense her pulling away, your instinct might be to close the gap, to reassure her, to push for clarity, to say things like, "Tell me what's wrong. Do you even care about me? Where is this going?" And I understand why you'd want to ask that. But to her, that doesn't feel like love. It feels like pressure. And pressure, in an emotionally overwhelmed state, feels suffocating. So what should you do instead? You give her something very few people know how to give: consistency without pressure. That means you don't chase, but you don't disappear either. You don't demand answers, but you remain present. You show her through your actions that you are steady, reliable, calm. You check in occasionally, but lightly, naturally, no emotional weight attached. And this is powerful because it allows her to feel you without feeling trapped by you. Let me give you a simple approach you can use. Match her pace. If she takes time to respond, you don't rush to fill the silence. If she opens up a little, you open up a little, not more, not less. This creates emotional balance. And balance feels safe. Now, here's something deeper you need to understand. She is not just observing what you say. She's observing who you are over time. There's an internal timeline happening inside her, not for commitment, but for safety. She's asking herself questions like, is he consistent? Does he stay calm when things aren't perfect? Can I trust him with my emotions? And the answers don't come from one conversation. They come from patterns, days, weeks, moments where you could have reacted, but chose to stay grounded. And if you do this right, something beautiful starts to happen. Her walls begin to soften. The distance slowly fades. And the same woman who once pulled away starts moving toward you, freely, naturally, because now you don't feel like a risk. You feel like home. And I want to leave you with something important. Love isn't always obvious. It's not always loud. Sometimes it hides behind confusion, behind distance, behind silence. But that doesn't make it any less real. So the next time she pulls away, don't panic. Pause, observe, understand. Because if you respond with patience instead of fear, you won't just keep her, you'll become the safest place she's ever known. And that is what real connection looks like. If this spoke to you, I want you to do something simple. Drop a comment below and tell me honestly, have you ever misunderstood someone's distance like this? And if you're ready to understand her on a deeper level, make sure you subscribe to Psychology Secrets with Olivia, because this is just the beginning. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them. You never know whose relationship you might help save. I'll see you in the next video.